Yeah. Okay, listen.
That's where the motherfucking
Hey, yo, I used to ride for my nickel, I would die for my nickel, put love with my nickel, got high with my nickel. Yeah, now it's fuck that nigga, I ain't scared to pull a trigger, I will ride on the nigga. Woo! I'ma tell you why you mad though, got a new flame, got me walking, no hands, yo. Could've been you, but you ain't know how to act though. Could've been you, but you never wanna get all the ladies taking risks and tryna blow. If he love you, he won't keep you on the low. They think they're ready, but they never really know. If you a rider, make sure you ready to go. Told me you was real and I believed you were the fair. Felt you tryna flip the script on me, what the hell? You wasn't ready and now you were very well. Wanna leave me very well, I'll be sleeping very well. Once upon a time you would've left. When I looked and down the plane, you were fucking with me. How you love somebody, then you dump them with a text. I let you in my house and now you can't even address me, boy. Once upon a time you would've left. When I looked and down the plane, you were fucking with me. How you love somebody, then you dump them with a text. I let you in my house and now you can't even address me, boy.
Fucking pathetic. A fucking text message.
That's where the motherfucking
I've been sipping hard for 6 weeks. Haven't hit the blunt, my mind already hazy. Now the promises you made looking a little faded. How you just gon' leave me with what we created? Oh no, everything was good about a week ago. And if I had dated you, I would've been oh, baby, what does that mean you? Cause I was down hello, you just let me go and walk down. And oh, fun, I think I miss you just a little. So you say you was feeling, I believe you just a little. So now you flake on women like your daddy just a little. Is that the reason why these real niggas so fickle, man?
And go find your daddy. Maybe he's finally in a place to teach you how to be a man.
Told me you was real and I believed you were the fair. Felt you tryna flip the script on me, what the hell? You wasn't ready and now you were very well. Wanna leave me very well, I'll be sleeping very well. Once upon a time you would've left. When I looked and down the plane, you were fucking with me. How you love somebody, then you dump them with a text. I let you in my house and now you can't even address me, boy. Once upon a time you would've left. When I looked and down the plane, you were fucking with me. How you love somebody, then you dump them with a text. I let you in my house and now you can't even address me, boy.
That's where the motherfucking bass
Is she the reason you don't call me? Used to fall for my honey, used to put it on me hard like you used to do. Is she the reason that my calls couldn't reach you? The deepest of my love couldn't please you. Bring it to me home like you used to do. Is she the reason you don't call like you used to? Fall through my hood like you used to. Tell me hard like you used to do. Like you used to do.
working and meeting these goals. Where else do you go? Cause I'm in my head all alone, and this ain't my first rodeo. I wanna smile, I haven't done that in a while. But begging for love in my style, I wanna feel. Remember when it felt so real? Reality lost its appeal.
Welcome to another episode of Go Create Podcast, the podcast for creators by creatives. And you need help with that?
I'm good.
Okay. And as always, I'm joined by the crew. What's up, fellas?
Yo.
I was about to say, we like 6 episodes in, and we got to get that energy right on that.
Well, it is 11 in the morning.
Fuck that.
I'm also focused too. Like it's just that's focus.
Damn, you could never be on Everyday Struggle.
You can never do it.
No, I couldn't be on that show for a lot of reasons.
Why not?
DJ Academics.
Oh, you don't like him?
That's another story. We'll talk about DJ Academics. I barely like Joe Buttons.
Academics is he's a weirdo. What the hell? He's like a weirdo, bro.
He's a weirdo with some decent opinions, though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
When did I have a question? When did Joe Buttons become like the black Nicole Richie? Like what?
Oh my God!
Like what happened? Like he used to be nice, and now he's like
he's
like
mad sensitive, bro.
Yeah, like he's
He's been sensitive since he was with Tahiri.
Why can't people be sensitive?
Word.
Nah, but like
you can be sensitive. His sensitivity is just on a whole nother level.
Yeah,
I fuck with Joe Budden.
I mean,
like,
I fuck with him lyrically.
Yeah,
I just fuck with him.
He's like real. His emotions is like not on his sleeve. They're like on his lips. Like he's like mad emotional all the time.
I fucks with Joe. It's just sometimes some things you need to keep to yourself.
Yeah,
you don't need to put everything.
Like
out
I feel
there.
like he emotional about hip hop, bro.
And
as a hip hop artist, seeing the evolution of hip hop, he can't.
But he's emotional about like everything. Like it's like everything. I feel like.
Oh my
feel like
God,
that's
there's too much cheese on my macaroni. That's
Yeah.
But that's what makes him worth watching. Like, what if there was somebody on there with no emotions, didn't feel nothing, just talking?
That's
that would
boring.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
that's true. That's true.
And I was like academic. He just talk.
I don't hate Joe Budden. I just
fucking robot.
you know.
Yeah.
Do you remember that freestyle he did with him and Jay-Z? Or what was it? I think it was Fire. They did that remix. Oh, never mind. I'm on my own on that one. That's cool.
Nah. I didn't hear it.
That's cool. It's all right. Anyway, podcast. I don't give a fuck.
Fault, bro. I really was trying to think to see.
Yeah, he was trying. This nigga didn't even try. He didn't even try to be with me at all. Like he was.
I'm in my bag today. So Saturday, I'm in my bag.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh yeah, I don't know what you're talking about, son. Shut. Like, let's go. Like, bring me. That shit's funny. Yeah.
Oh my God, you're killing me.
That is bad. That was bad. Yo, but like that was bad.
That was like a scary movie.
You almost got to explain that.
Yo, all right. Yeah, we definitely got to explain that.
Let it happen.
Let it happen.
No, yeah, let it happen. Ideas.
Okay. That was like when on TV when they were like act natural.
Everybody's.
Yeah, stupid.
All right, so let's get into the episode, man. Let's get into it. So I don't have the claps today, so we're gonna have to do an old school.
Thank God.
So let's introduce the lovely Mballa.
No, Mballa. No, Mballa.
Mballa.
Yeah.
Oh man, that wasn't.
After 20 minutes of rehearsing it before we started,
Yeah.
he's still gonna come loud. Mballa.
He was
I'm
confident
a
as
fan.
shit. too.
I was. I shot my shot. I was just Nick
You
Young
know
on
what
that
I
shit.
mean?
Yeah,
Oh my
he was
god.
like,
I feel like J.R. Smith.
As soon as he said it, I looked at it. I was like, that's not right. That's not right? That's not how you supposed to say it.
Oh my god. I cannot.
If she let it go, I'm gonna let it go. I think that's
Yo,
not right.
Paulie, you stupid. So even though everybody heard your voice, what's up?
What's up?
Because
I'm good.
you didn't let us introduce you. I mean,
I'm good.
No, you had a chance.
I mean, you wouldn't be introducing me. I don't know who you were introducing.
yeah, you had a shot.
pop, 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 shots fired.
I figure y'all can take it, Brooklyn.
Oh, we good. What? Tell them we Gucci right now. Pass that though.
Don't embarrass your people.
Pass
Screw
that,
top.
Pass that screw top.
Screw top.
Don't tell nobody else.
What y'all talking about?
I have no idea.
Don't tell nobody what.
About the screw top.
Screw top.
They're talking about wine, just in case y'all are wondering what's going on between these two.
Definitely just blew us up.
She definitely, yeah, she been doing that since she walked in the door. How you doing? I hate all y'all signs.
Yeah, she basically was like, yeah.
He was like, yo, could we please get some positives on the show?
Like just a little bit.
This is how I show love, though. That means
Yeah.
I'm comfortable.
Nah, that's good.
That's
though.
good.
That's
That's good.
Yeah, we need to know our flaws.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. In vivid detail.
I'm an Aries, so I don't have any.
Ooh.
You know my brother's Aries, and he would say the same thing.
I mean it's a fact.
He was better.
That means it's a fact.
Yeah, he would say the same thing.
That's the one I met?
Yeah, yeah,
With the
yeah.
joke session?
Yeah.
Yo, one time when his brother came down, and it was just a whole 6 hours of us roasting each other.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, we should have recorded that. That would have been just, I'm telling you. I grew up with him too, so like I had to be a good roaster because he would, like, he got real good real fast.
Yo, can I tell a story about, his brother's a cop.
Oh.
And, but he wasn't on duty when he was down here. But you
Not
could
on
not
duty,
tell
though.
that shit.
He was 100, everything he did was 100% cop. You're like, damn, bro.
Yo, remember when other cops was like questioning somebody else?
Yeah.
He was, I got this.
Yeah.
Bro, you off right now.
It's not even your jurisdiction.
I'm a little drunk right now. I think we need to call in some reinforcements. Reinforcements back up. Mayday.
So real quick, we went to the gym earlier that day, and he wore like blue, like cop blue shorts, cop blue. I was like, he wanted to take his gun to the gym.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, what are you doing right
Like,
now?
bro, you off, man. It's a weekend.
He's a 100% like
He a cop in Philly?
Out central Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's safe.
he's safe. He's safe.
God.
There's a couple tiki torches up there. Though.
Does he listen to music like you? Like he's a music?
Yeah.
Music.
Yeah. The funny thing is, he works out like he's swole, but he works out to like R&B.
Word.
Yeah,
So
it's so
maybe he need
silky.
to work out to some.
Drake.
Some smooth muscle.
Yeah, he would definitely.
muscles.
Yeah,
Smooth muscle.
You think he could work out to some Mballa?
probably.
Probably.
Especially if you say her name right.
That's what you say my
Good work,
name,
Paul.
right?
Not Mballa. Mballa. Somebody told me.
Y'all
I would
just,
like how
oh
you
my
stared at
God,
me.
can y'all send this to me? That needs to be an interlude on my project. Y'all trying to say my name.
Yeah, we
Word?
definitely sent to you.
Ooh, it's like that. What's the thing on the Talib Kweli?
Hey.
There's the dance. That's the Paulie special.
Son, what are you talking about? I ain't even do nothing.
We not even like. Can we get to the?
Let's get to the meat and potatoes
God.
of everything.
All right.
I like saying that, meat and potatoes of everything. I feel like I don't know why I like
Yeah,
doing
that's
that.
definitely a name. It's a rap.
Yeah. Change it to
Balla.
Yeah.
Oh my God, no. In high school, people would see like, Mballa. I was like, do you guys know you're racist as shit?
Oh,
Like,
Yeah, why did just Lion King your name like that? Why did Lion King your name like that?
Oh shit, yeah.
So you have an African
descent. Yeah.
Yeah, where are you from? Like,
So originally I'm from a country in Central Africa called Cameroon, which is right next to Nigeria.
shout out to Cameroon.
Shout out to Cameroon.
Yeah.
Cameroon.
And my, fun fact,
Fun fact.
y'all know Joachim Noah.
Yeah.
That's my family.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
That's crazy, but it's like, black families, like we don't know each other. Like I know his dad or whatever. Like
Y'all
his-
cousins like Tracy McGrady and Vince Carter.
yeah.
That fought out at the barbecue, huh?
Yeah.
No, for real though, like for real, because people were coming up to me because they knew his dad is a famous tennis player.
Yeah.
And so his dad and my mom are cousins.
Okay.
And grew up together and everything. So people knew that at school. And so when he was playing for the Gators, people were like, yo, your cousin is killing it. I'm like, who?
Yeah, guess what? Your cousin's not killing it right now.
Yeah,
he's not killing it.
Listen.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
Listen.
Can you deliver?
I don't know him.
Can you?
Can you get him on the podcast?
I'm just like, no, I've never met him. Like, I've never met him. I don't even, like, I literally found this out in high school. They're like, yo, your cousin's doing good. And I'm like, who? And I saw him for the first time when I, like, Googled him. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay.
Have you ever talked, like,
shout out to Google for making family connections.
Like, I spoke on the phone or text or...
Yeah, did I just tell y'all I never met him?
Don't look at me when you said that.
No, not.
Let him feel every moment of that eye contact.
No, like physically. I'm talking about like, did you ever speak?
No. Like, we do not know each other.
Oh, okay.
Like,
at
all.
Reach out. Cousin.
I feel like that's weird.
We got your cousin out here.
Now, you know what? I will DM him right now while you're on the show.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell him like, yo, that's your cousin. Like,
we got your cousin on the podcast.
We'll be family matchers.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like that's like mad weird. But yeah, I don't know.
I guess what? We don't care. We don't care about being weird.
Well, you know
we live in weird.
Yeah, we don't care.
We fucking weirdo.
We'll do it.
Do it for me.
I'm gonna do it.
That's the next project. I am a weirdo. Hi, my name is.
But you know what?
DNYSF Paulie, and I'm a weirdo.
We are going to Go Create Radio is gonna DM Joakim Noah and tell him two things: one, your cousin's on our podcast, and two, practice being a better basketball player.
Time out. This whole time you talking about Joakim Noah?
Yeah.
Deadass, I was just pretending like I knew.
Kim?
I was deadass playing like I knew how she was talking about. That's your cousin?
Yo, nah, we gonna. All right, so this is what we gonna do.
I got the floor to shit. Yo, ain't he from New York?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they live in New York, but he's from Cameroon. Like his dad is French and Cameroonian.
Okay.
The famous tennis player.
Yeah.
Now I know. Now we're on the same page.
Yannick.
Sorry,
She
we're
just
on the
said
same
all
page.
of this. That you.
This is spades now. Y'all getting books now.
Yeah, well,
y'all
she
getting
just said everything. She just said.
Y'all get books.
She said everything that you just. He said, "Oh no,
I was
y'all
listening,
keep knowing.
but
I was listening, but
the way she said it, the name didn't. You know, we know Americans fuck up names.
Yeah, that's right. Because I said Joakim.
Joakim, yeah.
Joakim, that's right.
Yeah.
And you call him Joakim.
That's what everybody else call him. Joakim Noah. I'm a Knicks fan. He play on my team, baby.
Yeah, I'm a Knicks fan too, and he's on the team.
Tell him $72 million. We need more production and more health.
Right.
Just understand that.
Yeah, much more health.
Much more health.
I'm gonna tell you how much I didn't know about him. I didn't even know he loved the Bulls.
He loves the Knicks now.
He said shit left.
Yeah.
Oh, you said left?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, he's on.
Don't call me out no more. You're 2 for 2. No more. That's it. just tap me on the shoulder.
Like, bro.
I don't want to be that kind of family. Like, ooh, you in the NBA now? Like, what's up?
He's on his way out though.
Put it like this.
Yeah,
you good?
We're definitely we're gonna DM on your behalf.
Okay, go ahead, do it.
We'll be like, yo, your cousin was on the
that's fucking
podcast.
dope.
Definitely not gonna open the damn DM.
Nah, we're not even gonna
care.
get the luxury of being
You know
put
what?
on scene.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't
Right.
take. You know?
And he misses 100%
That's exactly
of his,
my motto.
and he misses 100% of his free throws.
So you miss 100% of the shot
You don't take.
That's how we talking to regular.
That's exactly how we talk. Well, the newest member of the Go Create podcast.
Mballa.
Mballa.
That was so pathetic. Ooh, no.
At least we didn't Lion King your name.
You
though.
right.
Yeah, give us
Alright, so
that.
Mballa.
I guess I just gotta settle. Yeah.
So how did the music start for you? Like, what was your...
Oh, the music. Okay, so
The reason why you're here, the dope
Yeah.
ass music.
I mean,
It is really good.
Thank you. I wanted to do it since I was like a kid.
Sorry.
You good? Since I was so like young, my brother used to manage. He was in a hip hop group, I guess first, and so I would just go to their rehearsals and stuff. And he was asking me my opinion, and I was like 4 years old, you know, and like I felt bad for everybody because they had to listen to me. Like he would force them to. But so I just really got into like the management side of it for a really long time, and then I always knew I wanted to sing. Like I was writing songs and stuff, but I never I didn't have the balls to do it because I come from a Cameroonian family. So it's like, if you're not going to be a politician, which my dad was, he was ambassador of Cameroon to the U.S.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Like
Under what president?
Under Clinton and Bush.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
2 terms.
Yeah.
Presidents, I mean.
Yeah. No, he was ambassador for 15 years, which is uncommon. Like, it's usually 4 years and you move around. We were ambassador. Yeah.
Legacy.
He really did his thing.
We're gonna let him see.
But I'm done. So yeah, so
He's like a walking fortune cookie.
He definitely is.
Geminis.
But like a black fortune cookie.
Geminis.
Facts.
The universe.
As you
We'll
were.
let him see. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Brought us here.
Yeah.
So I mean, I was always into music, like, and I was like more into the hip hop side of things, like, just because I had 3 brothers, so I didn't really have a choice what I listened to. So like, the first thing I ever listened to all the way through was Big Pun's Capital Punishment. Like,
Fire album.
yeah.
Fire album.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I just like began to like scrutinize a lot, and then I would be in my room like downloading music, and I just started to write music, but I was scared because and I told my dad I want to be a singer, and I came home and there was no more VH1, no more BET, no more MTV.
He shut it down.
He shut that shit down.
It was gone.
Cookies, top of the refrigerator.
Gone.
He shut it down.
Like how was that? How was that?
I didn't know that was a thing you can do.
Huh? Because we Dish Network.
Okay.
So you could block the channels.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I've never had Dish. I have no idea what that life is like.
Yeah, at the time you could block the channels, so they were all blocked with the. But I mean, parents are stupid, so the password was my mom's birthday. But
Shout out to parents, man. You gotta get better at this.
But
did you get that on your first try? That was like, oh, this is the password. We back in there.
I think I did the day and the month first, and it didn't work, and I was like, all right, let me switch it around.
And it worked.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's genius.
That's on you. Your dad's gotta be like, that's on me.
She's a genius.
That was on me.
So, but that sent like a real clear message as to what he wanted me to do, like not do that.
Yeah.
And later I found out why, because he was a musician himself.
Oh.
And so he was, like he was in a band. He was real old. So he was in the U.S. for the first time in the 60s. So he was like kicking it with Malcolm X and shit. But like, and yeah.
Word?
Yeah. Like Betty Shabazz came to dinner at our house and everything. But he did not want me to get into the music world because of everything he was doing when he was in the music world. Yeah. So I was just watching my brothers for a long time. And when I got to college, there was this record executive that came to our school, and I told him like, yo, I want to manage. He was like, all right, just find a group, like help them out, start doing stuff. So I started managing. I was managing for 2 to 3 years. This hip hop duo called The Coolest, and one of them has become Danny Blaze, and he just did Hopscotch and Art of Cool Festival and stuff. Yeah. So I was managing them, and I started to get frustrated because I was a woman and I was young, and we were the same age, and they weren't listening to me, and I would tell them things to do. And then I scheduled this like listening party for their album, whatever. It was the same day as J. Cole's Dollar and a Dream tour. And they're like, well, we gonna go to that. I was like, no, the fuck you not, because
you just spent some bread.
I just had this whole listening.
So they were gonna skip their own listening party to go to.
No, they thought that they were gonna be able to make both, and I was like, it's J. Cole in North Carolina. You're not getting out of there.
Look, trust me, I understand them. I highly understand them. If it was between this episode, a podcast episode, and a J. Cole tour, I probably think I could probably make.
But you know what annoyed me?
Yeah.
So
we already went to the one in DC. We had already gone. I'm like,
okay.
Yeah, I was like, you already experienced that, like, and now we done did this for you.
I got
all my people coming to listen to your project. So they showed up at 1 a.m.
Reputation is on the line.
Yeah, that's how I felt though. They showed up at 1 a.m. and I was so frustrated. And I was like, you know what, like, I don't need to be stressed out like this for no reason. You know
How old were you when this was happening?
I was 22.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was 22. So I was like, I'm just gonna do this for myself, because that's what I wanted to do anyway. Because I had this master plan. Like I always wanted to be like the female Diddy. So I was like, all right, like I'm gonna manage them. I'm gonna manage them, and they gonna pop, and then I'm gonna come out with my album. And
you was definitely shiny shoes from the whole nine.
Yeah, but they were just fucking up my whole plan. They were.
Did you have
fucking
a Diddy dance? Did you have a Diddy?
You know what? I had mastered the Diddy bop with the toothpick,
All right, I dig it. I like it.
But so they were just fucking up the plan. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do this. So I had started kicking it with Will Wildfire here in Charlotte. We went to college together, but we were never we had never talked in school. And I was just like, yo, like I'm trying to make music. I need your help. So I was like, here's something I wrote, and he just made the beat on the spot, and that became my first song, and nobody knew. And as I was writing that first song, my dad passed.
Oh.
Yeah. In the process of me like planning the video and stuff, my dad passed, so I hadn't even gotten to tell him I was really gonna pursue it. And he was at the place where he was gonna accept it, because he had I skipped this part. He became a political prisoner after his tenure here. So he was in prison in Cameroon for like 6 years. So he passed.
Wow, that's great.
Wow.
Yeah. So he passed, and I was like, all right, well, that was my biggest fear anyway. My dad was my best friend, so now there's nothing to be afraid of. So I just kind of like went for it, like kind of hit the ground running. And I've been doing music ever since 2015, early 2015. Yeah.
That's a story.
Yeah. That's, all right.
I'm about to say that. Right? Betty Shabazz.
I don't really know where to go from here. I ain't gonna lie to you.
All right, that's a wrap.
Yep. So we're just gonna wrap this up right now.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Next week. So the one thing I noticed about your music that I actually like is that it sounds very mainstream. Well, not necessarily mainstream, but it can be mainstream. Like it lends itself to
Right.
being mainstream. And you don't when I listen to it, I don't hear unsigned artists. I hear
Polished. Yeah.
videos
Yeah.
on rotation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like, how did talk about how that actually happened? How did you skip that phase? Because I didn't. Unless you got all that music in the back, you're like, nope, not today.
I sure do. I sure do. But I've never. I think it comes from being like my dad's daughter. Like I'm not about to be here embarrassing myself.
Facts.
And my brother, who managed for 10 years, he just told me the truth. He's like, you can't skip the learning curve. So I mean, I did those things, I just didn't put them out. And I was fortunate enough to be around people who were super ahead of me, like Will and stuff, and he would just be like, that's dope, but the quality is just a nah. So I just kind of put those away, you know what I mean? And some of them are great songs that now I can re-record and whatever.
Yeah.
And then, I had to learn certain things to be able to get there. But if it ever, I check too, like I'll send it to people like, yo, what do you think? I've had people be like, no, that's fucking trash. Let's
be real. You don't get that often.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's always an ear that I trust. I have like 3-4 ears that I really, really trust, and I'm like, just
listen to this.
Just let me have it, and I'll rework it if it's not right, So I didn't necessarily skip it. I just know enough to not, because it's for once you put it out, it's for people too. You know what I mean?
Right,
it's not just yours anymore. So it's like, damn, I'm not trying to give people, such shit from the dollar store, like,
Gotcha.
Yo, that's a genre we should call some of this music out here.
Dollar store.
Dollar General music.
General jams.
Dollar
Biggest
songs.
CDs. We're gonna do that. We're gonna make a playlist. Playlist. General jams. Yeah.
General jams.
These are dollar stores.
Do you have a team?
Jams.
I'm starting to build one.
Right.
I'm starting to build one. I do vision boards. And the team is on my vision board, and it's like slowly starting to come together. And it's even for like the video for Illegal, like that shit was written. It was like I decided at the beginning of 2016, I think, I was like, I need a videographer. And I just went on Google and printed out a picture of some chick, and I wanted it to be a woman, and some chick with a camera. And you couldn't even see her face, but she had blonde hair, whatever, camera. And I put it on my vision board, and then, my ex at the time, and I'm figuring now that this was his purpose. He introduced me to this chick.
In the picture? From the picture?
No, just
Oh,
the
just
girl.
another-
So your
Okay.
videographer is a chick. Wow, it's female. Excuse me.
Yeah. So she came to my house. We were just like talking because we're friends and stuff. And she's telling me she wants to do video work and she hasn't really done that much. Blah 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 blah. And I'm just looking at her and I'm like, yo, she got blonde hair. And I went to my vision board and I was like, look. And I showed her. She's like, yo, that's me. Like, that's me. And so in that moment, we knew we were gonna work together. And a year and a half later, like, we shot the Illegal video.
Damn.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, it was written like it was gonna be, and then there's like little like hitches as you're going along, and people are just like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "No, I'm sure it's her." Like, don't even, it's her. Like, don't question it.
Yeah. That's shit. Like,
Hashtag independence.
Yeah.
Down
And that was,
fingers.
I don't know if you guys saw the Illegal, but that was the first music video she ever shot in her life.
That was the
It
first
did
one?
not look like the first one.
That was the
at
first
all.
music video she's ever shot.
Wow. It did not look like that.
Wow.
But I knew. I mean, and there was another director too. But I knew it would be like that because, like, I knew her eye, and I like to like sit down and build with people for a while before we work, and so she was just showing me like the videos she likes, and I was like, all right,
Yeah, this will
like
be-
I already
this will
know.
be-
Like, she's not showing me like basic videos, like
Right.
whatever. Like, they're very like interesting with a lot of like, just like creative, like
Yeah.
Just different.
just out the box.
different,
Like,
That's actually not too far from how we all met, though.
Yeah.
We didn't have vision boards, but
they work though. You guys got to do the vision boards. They work. I put J. Cole on my vision board one year, and I ended up going to 2014 Forest Hills Drive to listen to the project before it dropped.
That's crazy.
See, that's the shit I'm talking about.
I would just put bags of money on mine.
And we saw it. See, that's my new thing.
Money back,
Like,
money back.
Yeah.
Scrooge McDuck pictures when he was swimming in his money.
Yeah. That's what I would have. Because you might have to come back in schools on how to put together good. Because I don't think we've got the
I
talent.
will. I'm gonna do that too, though. I that's the one part that I like neglected because I was just like, money doesn't matter, and now I'm getting older. I'm like, no,
Money matters.
No, I need it.
Yeah, money matters.
I need it.
Fuck yeah, that shit matters.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna create your happiness, but
No. It'll help.
it'll help a lot.
Put a little dent.
It'll make it easier.
Shave something off the top.
Yeah,
No, but money is freedom. I mean, it's not. It's like
that's how the world works, man.
Because I quit my job a year ago, and like, the next step would be having the money to push all the things that I've created. And I'm sitting here like, it needs to.
So you do this full time, 100% full time?
I'm looking for jobs now, but yeah, I have been doing it full
Gotcha.
time.
What do you when you quit your job? What were you doing?
I was a director of marketing for a real estate firm in Chapel Hill.
Cool, that's interesting. This is the business part. This is like the
I'm like,
The illegal song.
The illegal song.
Talk about how what created what were you in? What mindset were you in when you created that song? Like, what's the story behind that?
Like,
Because that shit is deep.
even the title.
And then and then now with everything that's going on now, it resonates even more now.
Oh God, I was in so many. So I was undocumented, and when I was working, this might get them in trouble, but oh well. I was working, and I had to be taken off the books basically.
Yeah. Which is not a bad thing. Taxes.
Well, I was
all
now,
your money.
I was now a contractor. I'll say that. I was an independent contractor.
Got you.
But because I fell out of status, actually, literally, as my dad was passing, like my legal status. I fell out as he was passing, and the last thing that he did, like on his deathbed, was like typing to my lawyer, like, you know, trying to help me get my paperwork or whatever, and it didn't work out. And I applied for DACA, the Dream Act, and I actually got denied for it.
Well, on what basis?
Well, the thing about DACA, it's discretionary, so they they can just decide that.
For no, they don't have to give you a reason.
Nope, don't have to give you a reason. So I mean, and I wasn't
seems legit.
Yeah, right. I wasn't a particular situation though, because I had the whole thing about my dad being a political prisoner, and the thing that they were trying to like frame him for is some shit the U.S. does not like to get involved with. So I was in a different situation than most people were.
Got you.
But I applied for that, and so I was kind of waiting for that, and I was at my job, and I just felt stuck. You know, I was like, damn, like, I can't ask for a raise because, I mean, they know they really don't have to give it to me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I can't leave and go get another job because nobody can legally hire me. And it was just like a lot, and at the same time I was dealing with the passing of my dad and all this stuff, so I was just at work like a zombie, like, you know what I mean, for like 6 months. And I just saw, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Steve Jobs commencement speech.
Yeah,
I recommend every single person watch that. And I just remembered the part where he said, you know, if you wake up every day and ask yourself, if this were my last day on earth, is this what I want to go do? And if the answer is no too many days in a row, then you have to make a change.
Oh shit.
And
I just felt like 30,000 people quit their jobs right now.
yeah.
Oh,
so the answer just kept being no. Like every day,
Right.
I was every day. I was just no.
Me and my boy have that conversation all the time. Me and my man Lavelle, we talk and we say, yo, bro, like, at what point, like, if you can sit here and do whatever you want to do, like for me, if I could sit here and just be a full-time photographer, no, I'm not going to make the money I'm making now.
Yeah.
Would I do it versus, and be able to, you know, just to go be, you know, go as I please, Would that mean more to me? Would I be more happy doing that, making less money than what I do and being bored and just unhappy?
I think the key for me, what I'm thinking, is to be able to switch it up, because you need the income, you need the stability. Because I mean, I did the non-stability, and it was at first, I was really broke. I was really happy for like 4 months, and it was cool. But then it just got to be like,
fuck,
like really fuck, like sleeping in my car, fuck, like
word.
So I was like, all right, like you there has to be a middle ground. But so after that, I just decided, I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to leave. Like, I was going to leave. And at the time, I had made this plan to leave with my ex and move to Atlanta and chase our dreams, this, that, and the third. And he kind of backed out of the plan. And so I was just kind of like, you know, well, when I wrote Illegal, actually, he was like kind of backing out the plan. So I just kind of felt cornered. And at the same time, the Charlotte uprisings happened. And I was really like affected by all the shootings, and then it was like right here, like, and I'm like, damn, like I can't be the type of person who talks the talk, you know what I mean? So actually, I canceled the first session with Pat Jr., who produced Illegal, to come to the uprisings. So I came to Charlotte or whatever, and I was just like, damn, like, I'm over here marching because obviously, like, you know, this affects me, you know, but at the same time, I'm undocumented. So an arrest for me and arrest for people here is a completely different situation. Like, I could get deported, you know, and I just felt like, damn, like, there's no voice for people like me who are affected by, you know, by the situation, but who don't even have the legal right to protest, you know what I mean, or to speak their minds or whatever. And at the same time, I was a woman too, and I'm like, damn, women are not enough a part of this conversation either, you know what I mean? And so it just came from a place of feeling like, damn, like, you know, just feeling like there was nobody to speak for undocumented women of color. And I felt like I had to do that. And that was my situation. And I felt it, you know, more than anybody. So that's kind of where Illegal came from. It just felt like, okay, you're calling us illegal, you know, people, but really you're treating us illegally. You're treating women illegally. You're treating black people illegally. You're treating undocumented people illegally, you know. And a lot of the lines in that song actually came from the uprisings, because I remember we were at the epicenter and people are in the fucking restaurants eating. I'm like, okay, all right, go ahead. Just go ahead and have your little black bean burger. We just out here dying. It's nothing.
A little unseasoned black bean burger.
You know, we just getting shot. No big deal.
Yeah.
You know, just do you.
Just stay on your block.
You know.
It's all good over here.
Yeah. And so, and that's why when the song from The Hook came, it was like, niggas starving while you trying to feed your ego. I'm like, yo, we're fucking outside. Like,
and you're eating a black bean burger.
Yeah, like you really don't give a fuck, you know? So, so I came back from that. I mean, there was just a lot of anger, 'cause even being with, at the like Justin Carr situation, like, yo, when they said that another protester did that, I was like, are you serious? Like, because I didn't even know they were saying that until I got back to the crib. Because what happened was we walked up to the scene or whatever, to the Omni, and somebody's like, yo, don't go in there, it's a trap. It's a trap. And so, you know, I stopped, me and my ex, we stopped, and we hear like the guns go off or whatever it was. We'll hear and everybody start taking off. So then I run into these girls on the corner. They're crying. They just can't take it. They're like, yo, they shot him. I'm like, what you mean they shot him? They're like, yo, they shot him. Like, he didn't do anything. They shot him in our face. And I was like, the police shot him? They're like, yeah, like, they shot him. So then I'm like, damn, like, and I keep walking, and there's a dude, and he's wiping blood off his face. And he's like, yo, like, I can't have his blood on my face. Like, so he really saw it. And then we got home, and they're like, oh, another protester pulled up and shot him. I'm like, in front of the riot squad?
Yeah.
And got away?
Yeah.
Like, what are y'all doing?
I remember hearing that, and I was like, that's dead deck.
Because you know, they weren't there to protect you.
Right.
It was the epicenter.
Yeah.
It was the building. It was Aria restaurant.
But it was crazy because
Wild Wing Cafe.
Yo, they let
Hooters.
us in there though. It was very strategic, because they came out and they just started walking without, you know, people are following them because they're, you know, talking shit to them, whatever. So this was like, they're all going in the same place, and that's why the girl was like, yo, don't go in there. Like, we don't, because there was no reason they weren't protecting anything. They were just going to position, and that's when they let off the, you know, the tear gas and like, you know, all that stuff.
You were down there, weren't you?
Yeah. So it's funny. It was a crazy day because I was at I came home from work and I was turned on the news, and on the news they were talking about peaceful protest in I can't remember the name of the park that the protest started. And so I'm going about my business, going about my night, and I went to bed.
It was peaceful. Yeah.
Huh?
It was peaceful when it started.
When it started.
Started at that park over there by the courts.
Yeah. So I get up, I go to sleep, and I get up, and it's like 10 o'clock, 10:30, and I turn on MSNBC, and you would think that Charlotte was burning down. And I was like, that's right. And I had a bunch of phone calls and missed text messages and whatnot from people like, what's going on in Charlotte? Are you okay? Because I live right in downtown Charlotte. So I decided to go down there and see what was happening. And it was a real weird scene. By the time I got there, a lot of the stuff had dispersed. There was a lot of college kids out there, but there was a ton of police presence, and you really got the feeling that it was more of a military operation than anything. It wasn't necessarily the way they were positioned in a way. And on one hand, it's like, I get it, right? You don't want things to get out of hand, but it didn't seem, it was not nearly as violent or as...
It was peaceful until they got there.
Right. It was
peaceful until they got there, and I was there. I saw it.
You watched the news coverage of it, right?
Yeah.
And it was, it was like there's riots in Charlotte. There's violent protests in Charlotte. There's stuff burning down, and I was like, I literally live 2 blocks from where this is happening. It's not violent. It's not happening that way.
And it got violent. It got violent after they killed the dude. Like that's what made it violent. That's why we're like, yo, you literally just did the thing that has us out here in the first place.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you just did it again.
Well, and the other frustrating thing coming from that is you saw a lot of stuff on social media and even like signs posted around because they had a curfew in downtown Charlotte for a couple of days, and it was save Uptown or Uptown will rise, and it's like, what about the people that get like a guy got shot in the face? What about that? You know, and it was so much about our city and our neighborhood, and it really showed. To me, it showed the huge disconnect between what the protesters were protesting for, and what was actually, what resonated with people. Right, what resonated with them is that I have a curfew, I can only drink until midnight, versus there's an injustice going on, and no one's doing anything about it
at all. So, I mean, to your question, that's where illegal came from. It came from a combination of being an undocumented person and, you know, the frustration that came with that. And also, you know, being at the Charlotte uprisings.
What kind of reception has that song gotten through with other undocumented people?
Wow. Like, I've had so many people that I don't know, undocumented people, reach out to me. Like, I was so... I'm not going to say, I don't know that I was surprised, or I was, because I thought they would feel it. I knew they would feel it, but I didn't know that, you know, they would feel it so much that they would reach out to me, a stranger, to be like, yo, thank you. And I had a couple messages like that. And it felt, I can't even say that it felt good. You know what I mean? It was like, damn, like, because I know that struggle. Yeah. And I'm fortunate enough to not be in that situation anymore. But it's like
the affirmation.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing about being undocumented, the thing that sucks most about it is like there's no, in the US, there's no real path to citizenship.
And
there isn't.
Yeah.
There isn't. And it's very expensive.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's the thing. It's like you end up turning people into criminals just because there's no path. Like they end up. People have to live. You know what I mean? They have to do things to like. It's just you end up having to do what you have to do. That is kind of where illegal came from too. Like, okay, now I have to do this.
Well, and that's the thing. What I mean? You know, when I look at next question we're going to ask you is about, because the whole undocumented DACA immigration is a huge part of the presidential campaign. It's a huge part of what the conversation is now. And I think what we've all missed is the fact that we've got a broken process. Yeah. So DACA was a Band-Aid for a broken process. The fix is you have to fix the process because you've got people that come to the country and there is no real path to citizenship, or it's incredibly difficult. Well, that's why DACA is not the solution, in my opinion. It's more like you got to. It
was just like you said, it was a Band-Aid. Right. But the thing about politics, which unfortunately I feel like I've been around too much, like. And we saw it with Bernie. You can't come with the radical change. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's impossible to do, right? That's what they'll say.
You gotta baby step people into accepting what it is that you're trying to do. I mean, there was a DACA protest the other day in Durham, and I went, and for a second I had my Obama shirt on, and I was like, oh, I have to take this off because he's known as a deporter in chief. People don't know that. He deported the most people of any president. he was deporting people with criminal records,
right?
But he
right.
he still deported the most people. So it's just kind of like but he also created DACA.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? People can have a lot of conflicting opinions about that. But like you said, it was a Band-Aid, but it's just like you gotta... and to be in that position, you gotta be willing to be hated, period.
Yeah.
Because you gotta because everybody's not gonna see the end goal.
Well...
the end game. And the end game might not happen while you're the person in office.
Right.
And it had, Bernie won or Hillary won, whatever. We know Hillary, but... the idea, we believe that well, it was a pathway, it was a step, it was a thing to get people acclimated to the fact that okay, all these people who are undocumented are not criminals, all these people who are undocumented actually contribute, they pay taxes, they want to be functioning members of society, and even some of them people who are criminals, you know what I mean?
Right.
A lot of criminals don't want to be criminals. They don't have a fucking choice. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's literally about surviving.
Well, there's so much misinformation when it comes to the immigration topic in general.
Yeah.
That you almost created a situation where there's a group of people who believe that all their ills in life are because of undocumented people.
Yeah.
And they have all of this misinformation, and they're under these assumptions that just aren't true. And when you educate yourself, you do realize that there's not... that undocumented people do pay taxes, right? That's one of the main tenets of if you're opposing that. Well, they don't pay taxes. Well, they do, right? Or they don't contribute to society. Well, no, that's not true either.
It's not true at all,
right? So
you're
it's
taking my jobs. No, you don't even want to do that fucking job,
right? Which that's the funny. To me, that's the you literally right.
But they give immigration a face, and it's a Mexican face.
Yeah,
and that was another reason for illegal too.
Yeah,
that was another reason, and that's a lot of the women in the video. I mean, I do have some Latino women, but I also have black women. I mean, it's a fact. You know what I mean? Yeah. It happens to a lot of people. So
now, when you debuted the video, who debuted it? Blavity. How did they get How did they get to? Did you reach out to them, or they? Oh wow, that's major.
Yeah, I reached out to them. I mean, I just figure, because the song when it debuted on Nylon, and that was super dope. But the audience of Nylon is not
the reach
who it's for.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
What is the audience of Nylon? For those who don't know,
young millennial women, not necessarily of color.
Got you. Like the pumpkin spice latte.
It's like
group.
Nylon,
right? The PSL contingent.
I don't know.
Don't put it out.
I'm just trying to get clarification.
There's nothing wrong with that, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, though. And don't get me, it was dope, and a lot of people were excited about that, and I was excited about that. It was a major look, but it was like, I want to this is for black women of color.
You gotta bust open that door.
Yeah. I recognized that meant that it would have not as much of a reach and all of those things, but it was kind of like it was more of like a healing thing, And I have some of my girlfriends. Oh my God, my favorite part is this. I really feel that because at the end I say I know what it feels like to be always misconstrued, people talking shit, and when I tell them off, I'm rude. I
tweeted that. I definitely tweeted that.
Yeah.
And it's like that's the struggle of being a black woman. You gonna say some shit, I'm gonna call you out.
Right.
It's not just, but I'm the asshole now. I have an attitude problem,
That could just be that resonates with just being black.
No, absolutely.
And then on top of that, when you're speaking on certain topics, that's what it comes with.
Yeah,
Tupac.
Yeah.
But it's doubly hard if you're a woman and you're like that.
Yeah, you got two strikes. You're a black woman.
Yeah.
Because if you're a woman, you're not like that. That's if you're Tupac, there's going to be a whole bunch of people that are going to celebrate you for that. But a woman to do that.
I mean, there's
it's
something
more
about,
difficult.
I don't know what it is. It's kind of like there's a feeling like if I'm too expressive, what I mean? They people don't want.
Oh,
they say they like strong, powerful women, but they don't really want to deal if they're the ones that have to deal with it. You know what I mean?
Just chill, all right? I know you got an opinion, but just all down my throat and shit.
You should smile more.
Yeah, be pretty. Right?
You should smile more.
Yeah.
Dance a little bit more in your videos.
Yeah. And that was the thing though, and I got that. And my mom, I remember, I was watching Oprah, and there was an R&B singer on there, a woman, and I was like enamored. I was, oh my God, like I want to do this. My mom was like, don't you dare be like that. I was like, she's like, you could tell she doesn't have anything upstairs, like in her brain,
Yeah.
So, and that was a thing. I was like, all right, like if I'm going to go into this, I'm going to get my heart broken and all that. But other things matter too.
There was speaking of Oprah, there was a video I sent everybody in a group text, and Oprah was saying, she's a billionaire, and she's when you think of success, you think of Oprah, and she had said something about, when she started her network, people said it wasn't a success. And she said, well, it depends on how you look at success, right? She says, I've started a network, which I didn't think was going to be that hard, which was hella hard, and it's still here and it's growing. She said that's a success. So when you go out and you doing your thing and you putting your music out there, and who don't fuck with it, don't fuck with it. But whoever does, that's definitely, I fuck with it.
Right.
Like, I bump it in my truck. You know what I'm saying? Bumped it on the way here, sent the shit out. I mean, you're a dope artist. And the one thing that's lacking in music today is there's no point. It's not relatable. We may not be immigrants ourselves in the sense of being, undocumented, but we know somebody. We're one. I'm from New York. I know a lot of people who don't have papers.
Right.
And I don't. So it's relatable. More so than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 M's in my bank account. And I
do that too.
It's a time and a place.
I do all of that. You know what I mean? And that's the thing too. I'm just like, I don't ever want to be like, and people look at me now and they're just like, oh, she's the, conscious, whatever, earthy. I'm just like, what? Like, okay, you heard one song.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
You heard one song. And my career is only what? A year and a half long?
Yeah.
And you feel like
Yeah.
like,
Just sit back,
right?
Watch it.
Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be a whole bunch of other stuff, and there's stuff that I'll have that people who like illegal don't like at all. It's just but it's like I had to get to the point where it's like I'm not doing it for specific people or to like I'm just doing what I feel.
Right.
You know what I mean? In that moment. And I do think like something like even fickle, sometimes I'll freeze an emotion in time, like if for 3 seconds I felt like, oh my God, I can't stand you. Like if I'm afraid of prison, but I would shoot you. Like, I'll freeze that moment and it'll be, 3.5 minutes long. And that was kind of like fickle, I know, what I mean? I'm not from the hood, but that's how I felt.
I'm far from a hood, but I understand the streets.
That's just how I felt. I was like, I need to talk to you how you can understand this.
Yeah.
So we gon' click clack.
So Mballa, where's home? What do you call home?
You know what? That's so crazy that you asked me that. It's like a sore spot for me because I don't know.
Yeah, you're a citizen of the world.
And I tell people that I'm a citizen of the world because I was born in Paris, France. I my family then moved to the Congo, but we got evacuated because they were having a civil war. So when we got evacuated, we went back to France, and then my dad was brought to the U.S. to be ambassador. So we came to the U.S. and but even living in the U.S., I was always, told, my dad said it to me all the time, before I was, there were ever any thoughts that I would be undocumented or anything like that. He was just like, this is not your country and they're going to let you know it,
I feel like that now.
Yeah.
And I was born in Brooklyn.
He's like, they will let you know it. He always tried to make sure that we were aware of the privilege that we had because he was a diplomat. Because, we had, diplomatic immunity and all that, and he was just kind of like I'm here right now, but just know this is not your home. And it feels like home because I grew up here. Most of my friends are American, or even if they are from different cultures, for the American passports, whatever. Grew up in DC, went to New York all the fucking time. Now living in North Carolina. So yes, the U.S. feels like home. But it's still like, my family's not here now. So it's kind of like where is home? Is it where my family is it where I grew up, all the places that I'm accustomed to? Like I really don't even know. So
don't worry, we all share that same feeling. I lived in Charlotte 10 years. I even though I want this to feel like home, doesn't necessarily.
But it's weird.
But then when I go back home, sometimes I don't feel like home either.
I was just about to say that. I'd be going back to DC like, what? Like, well, some of these places are gone. Like, and I think what felt like home most is that my whole family was there for years. And then, you know, with my dad retiring and stuff like that. And I mean, also us growing up, like, you know, we weren't kids anymore. My older brothers are like 35, 36. And then one is 30, you know what I mean? So people are out living their lives now too. So it's kind of like a thing where I'm just like, all right, in different directions, you know? So DC doesn't necessarily feel like home, but sometimes, you know, I'll get a moment where I go somewhere and I'm like, ooh,
I remember them days.
Yeah.
So has all these places influenced your music though?
Yeah. All of these places and all the places that my family's been to, just because we are citizens of the world, and my brothers were able to go to places that I didn't, and so they would bring that music to me because like I was the baby, so I didn't have a choice. So I was listening to, you know, as much reggae as I was hip hop and Haitian zouk and freaking salsa, you know, Cameroonian music from Zaire, from Ivory Coast, like all of that stuff influences it. And it's like I haven't gotten even a chance to even display to what extent I'm influenced by those things. Because I mean, I also only have so many songs, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm just kind of like, that's a big thing that I try to tell people, not even just about me, but other artists. Like, you got to give people time to like, you know, tell you who they are, you know.
That's what Paulie says about the podcast and the movement we got going here. All the time.
We got his time.
All the time.
No, it's a real
I get
thing.
moments where I be like, fuck it. It ain't moving as fast as I wanted to move.
No. Listen, and you do not want to be on those group text things.
Yeah, Paulie be like, he hits with that Zen master shit.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I mean, it's a thing because I study what I'm doing, you know, and it's like, I think the number one thing that saves everybody all the time is consistency, period. Yeah. You know, I mean, you could do the worst thing ever, but if you're consistent, you're not gonna have a problem. And if we just want to be really, I mean, look at fucking R. Kelly. Like, look at the shit he be doing. Like,
I don't want to look at this motherfucker.
You know, look at the shit he be doing, and it's like the world doesn't even fucking care because he just is consistent.
A lot of it too is you had to look at this. Anything that you do, podcasting, your music, it's a craft, right? So like, you only get. I think Will Smith has that quote: like, talent you can be born with, but you know, skill you beat on your craft, and you're going to evolve and you're going to change, you're going to grow and make progress, and you're going to make mistakes. And a lot of times I think when people get into anything, I'm just going to go do it, and it'll be fine. But you have to keep at it, you know. And people, they're in love with the end result, but not so much in love with the process.
And then even in the process, you falter sometimes. You know, sometimes there are songs that I wrote after Illegal that I'm like, damn, this is trash. Like, you know, I mean,
you said that a couple times. I don't understand. Like, I want to hear what you would consider a trash song.
No, I mean, just sometimes I feel like if I'm gonna be bored singing it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
you know, if I'm not going to be able to feel it. Like,
as a photographer, I feel the same way. There's a lot of pictures you don't see.
Yeah, it's just.
I think that's as an artist. It's something that we go through. But to somebody else, somebody hear it, like,
do you throw it away?
No.
Keep them.
Sometimes I be wanting to throw. I be wanting to hit delete. I get to the delete and it was like, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, cancel.
I don't. I mean, it could be because it's like, you know, it's different too. Because it's like, for me, I might not like it right now. I might be able to recycle it later. You know what I mean?
Recycle or revisit? Because I feel like sometimes I can revisit something and go, all right, well, I fucked up here. I can do this better.
I tend to recycle. Because it'll be like, oh, I wrote this hook and I put it on this song and it don't work. Okay, like the first verse for Fickle, that was on a whole different song.
Word, okay.
And actually it was on a whole different song, and I sent it to my trusted ears and they're like, fuck no. And it's the exact same words on a different beat.
But it works.
With a new hook, with the, you know what I mean, a new second verse, and it worked out. So I just used it for something else where it had its place. So sometimes And I don't know how many times it's going to happen in the next 10 years or 20 years or however long, 30, whatever, however long I'm doing it, hopefully forever. Like,
does making music take you away from a place, or is it a point of, like, is it a point of expression for you, or is it a point of like for me, I know photography for me is like, it's a distraction. I live in distractions. So it distracts me from whatever I'm feeling at the moment. Is music like that for you?
No. I think it's like a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing that makes me feel good about myself.
Gotcha.
So it's like I can't write about things that I haven't processed. So things will happen, and I journal. I journal a lot, and I'll process through in the journal. And once I've journaled thoroughly, then I can go ahead and put it into a song. And once it's in the song and it sounds good, I'm like, oh damn, that feels so good.
Word.
I'm proud of myself.
Is it a form of therapy then?
I guess it's like a final, kind of. It's like a final. It's like the like a point of closure sometimes.
Word. I just learned about closure.
It's
like
not
recently.
real. It's not real. I don't believe it.
You don't believe it?
I agree.
You don't believe it?
it?
I believe sometimes it does. It does something for you. Like, no, it's not ever closed. It's like North Carolina and your background check. That shit is still always. Everything you do is always on it. but you know, it just feels like you've put it. You've addressed it. You know?
Yeah, and that's why my project is called Never Leave Quietly. So I mean,
that's what I want to talk about next. Your project.
It's like. It's a point of like alleged closure. Like, you know, people would consider that closure, but for me, I'm like, you know, I have to revisit that every time I perform it. I have to revisit it every, you know, when I talk about it, I have to. So it's like, it's not exactly closure when I listen to it, especially when I like the song. You know what I mean? Like, if it's a heartbreak, something, damn, I got to think about who this was about. Like,
you got some serious heartbreak.
You know what though? This is my Aries impulsive nature. I be throwing myself into situations that don't make sense anyway.
Do the people all right. When you perform the song, do you get the reactions that you think you're gonna get? Sometimes.
It's funny because Fickle, the first time I performed it, no, it wasn't the first time, but I performed it in front of the person it was about.
Oh shit!
He didn't know because he was coming.
He knew.
No, he didn't.
He heard that.
He texted his man, "Yo, you ain't gonna believe this shit."
No, he performed. He came to the show. I guess it's
Can't
funny.
believe I bought a ticket.
No, it's like as a means of like reconciliation. Like he was trying to reconcile.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I didn't know.
We good now? We good?
I didn't know he was gonna be there. I didn't know he was gonna be there.
Oh, you didn't know?
No, I didn't. And it was on the set list.
Did it feel awkward when you saw him there?
You know what? It felt awkward for his ass because everybody fucked with the song.
Did you sing it? Did you put a little bit, something extra on it when you knew he was there? A little bit of extra sauce on it?
I went to the car. I took about 4 shots.
Ooh.
Yes. The answer to that question is yes. She did.
Shots of what?
I was like, you don't feel this.
What kind? We take shots of what?
Patron.
What? I don't know.
If it was it Hen Rock?
No, it was white.
Oh, if it was Henny, should have been singing to him. Eye to eye,
right in his face. Yeah.
No, it was white. I remember
he right white. Here, baby. Oh, he's right here.
I know you gave him some looks like.
No, I didn't. Okay. I didn't.
Just like the music.
No, I was vibing with the crowd.
Okay,
I was trying to get them to make him feel it.
I'm sure he felt it.
He felt that.
He does.
Shit.
I have footage.
He took 4 shots too.
After the podcast, we want to see this footage. So, what's the name of the project?
It's called Never Leave Quietly. It's the name comes from just a lot of things, but it's coming from the perspective of people expect women to be like sweet and docile and just, you know, don't speak too much or whatever. And this was my way of being like, no, like, say what you need to say, you know, before you leave. And that's how I felt. I felt that at the time I was supposed to be moving, and I was like, I need to make sure that I address all the things that I feel like I didn't speak about, you know, all the things that bothered me, or that, because I do this thing where I just kind of shut down, just because I know how slick my mouth is. Like, I don't be trying to like hurt people. Like, so
do you introduce the hands? Listen, boo boo.
No, honestly, like I've gotten so good at like just controlling my mouth. So, but it gets to the point where people feel like I'm not communicating with them. So I'm just kind of like, I'm just not trying to.
Yeah, be conscientious of that, because women cut deep. They hit motherfuckers in the heart.
Yeah. No, and I really can.
My mama do love me.
No, I really can, and
finish him.
That's kept me from saying a lot, but it was just one of those things where I was like, well, if I'm not gonna be able to say it in person, like, I mean, I make music, like, it's gonna come out, you know. So, So yeah, so I'm nice in all my interactions with people. Like, very few people could tell you I, went off on them, popped off on them, whatever. Like, just because I'm like, I mean, you don't even deserve my energy anyway. Like, so.
What she said, I would. I want a song you say you don't deserve the view.
Oh yeah. I would walk away, but you don't deserve the view.
Walk away, you don't deserve the view.
Yeah.
That's like some shit you say to somebody.
That's some kind of shit right there.
But you know what? That's the check hook. Like that's like it's a rap. I will walk away, but you don't even deserve the view. And you're like, I don't even know.
That
what
was
to say.
for the black women too, though.
Yeah.
It was one of those like, we know what time it is.
Did the project drop yet?
Nope, no, it hasn't dropped yet. I think I'm shooting for December. Yeah, but oh yeah, and then Never Leave Quietly too. It was like my dad, when he passed as a political prisoner, it's like he knew. I felt like he knew the whole time, the whole 6 years. He knew that it was possible that he wasn't going to get to tell the truth, and so he was always sending us his dockets and his, everything that he would write. And he was just like, if I don't get to, I'm leaving this to y'all to make sure the world knows, that I was innocent. So here's everything that's going on. So to me, it was all right. I got to make sure that he's not leaving quietly, So this whole journey is me kind of like starting the process of getting to the point where I can say not just to the people in Cameroon who think he was guilty or whatever, but to the world, like, oh, this person was a great man and he was innocent and blah blah blah. So it was like me doing that in honor of him. Yeah.
We came in here with we was like, oh, we're gonna have a dope interview. Your energy is super dope, right?
Yeah.
I don't.
Yes.
Yeah.
An hour later, we're like, holy shit, this is
kind of
this is epic.
Yeah, historic. Definitely a historic episode.
You know how historic this is? This is the first episode this season when we have a whole episode of Paulie on the mic.
Hey.
Yeah. And he was like using words and whatnot. Paulie using words.
Nah, this was dope. So we're gonna wrap it up now. For the people who don't know, just put out all your, now mind you, Twitter, YouTube, everybody needs to know where they can find them. I know you're on iTunes because I already know that already, but put it all out there so everybody know how to contact you. And
on social media, everywhere. I am first name Mballa. That's first name Mballa.
Mballa.
Yes, Twitter, IG. I don't really use Snap like that. I'm gonna start trying, but I really don't use it like that.
It's too many, right?
Yeah,
it's too many social media.
It's
do
extra.
you have MySpace?
I'm over you right now.
Put your MySpace out there.
I'm over you right now.
Can we find you in the chat room?
Yeah, what's your AIM name? What's your AIM name?
I was on Black Planet for a little minute.
Throwback. I bet you Black Planet still got all our original profiles up there.
Yeah, is Black Planet still a thing?
I don't know.
Nah, it's got to be that.
Nah, I bet you it's in there.
It turned into tag.
I feel like it was so dangerous. I feel like Black Planet was so dangerous.
Right. Yo, my side hurt. Man, that was good. Man, it's always good when you get a Black Planet reference.
Facts.
Yeah.
They tag you owe some money.
Yeah, it was in trouble. The Black Planet was trouble.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. Oh, and I was too young to be on there too. I don't know what I was doing.
That was back when the internet was safe.
It's like a Black Facebook.
Yeah, it was.
Black Planet.
They had a Spanish one. It was called Mi Gente. It was the exact same thing. It was just for Spanish people.
But Black Planet was pre-Facebook.
What about white people?
They had everything
They
else.
had the rest of the internet.
The internet.
No, shout out to Black Planet and MySpace for teaching us how to code before we knew, though.
Yeah.
Fact, because you wanted your
background picture
with the music.
Everybody's like, Mark Zuckerberg, no, I got this, son. I'm gonna put the locks on my shit. So I got Diddy.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts.
Yeah.
Word. Well, this was fun. You gonna come back?
Yes.
Mind you, the Go Create movement is not just the podcast. So we're gonna be seeing you some more.
Okay.
So don't be going like that. I mean, you can, but don't go to LA someplace we can't drive to. We can't come see you.
So we basically put moving restrictions on you?
Yeah, basically like North Carolina only.
It's a travel ban. You're on the travel ban.
You're on a travel ban.
Yeah.
Or I could go to LA and
there you go. I like it.
Y'all can
we could
fly
tag
out. You know what I mean?
Nah, son, driving distance.
Drive a distance.
You don't fly.
Travel ban.
You don't fly.
Go create travel ban.
Yeah.
Wait, Mballa.
Wait.
I'm out.
Nah. But I mean, we wish you all the success. We're all fans here.
Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
You know.
Thank you.
Yeah, we all fans here. So
I appreciate y'all so
Yeah.
much. Thank you for having me. Too.
Thank you for coming.
I really
Thanks
wanted
for
to
coming.
do this.
What, do you have a YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you put it out? I was joking. I didn't hear if you
First
did it.
name Mballa.
Everything.
And everything.
Across everything.
Oh, I
Cool.
had
All right.
so remember I told you I was listening to your music in my cube, and we had the individual walk past and like, what is this? And I explained it to him. So that right after that, I would try to find out you did an interview, and I didn't realize the whole thing was in French.
No.
That was not you.
Awkward.
I haven't done an interview in French yet.
Do you speak French?
Yeah.
You did something in French.
Native. I'm a native French.
Did you
speaker.
speak French on YouTube at some point?
Oh, and say something right now. Say shout out to all the people in France.
I mean, the beginning of the video was my grandmother speaking to me in French.
I swore, I maybe it was some maybe.
Was that what that is?
Well, you know what? Maybe somebody. It's possible because I have a lot of like a following in Cameroon too. So maybe they were like talking about me in French. It's
Maybe.
possible.
All right, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah.
But it was
Just
French.
Way to save him.
Yeah, thank you for that. That was weird.
That was
it was
a record.
French though, but I got the language right.
Yeah, most of my interviews so far have
We
been
believe
in
you.
English. I would be.
Yo, Jesse was also shit like, no, believe me.
No, seriously.
Please believe me.
Yeah, like I was like, I even sent him a text. I was like, yo, this thing is in French. I don't know what she's saying. I don't know what's happening right now.
I don't know who that was.
Yeah. They were talking
What
about
you gonna
you.
say, bully? Yo, can you?
Nothing, bro.
He ready to go. Mballa, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yo,
Times
Paulie,
two.
put your information out there, man.
Yo, follow me at DYSF.Paulie.
Whoa. I can't. Hold on. Before we're gonna have him repeat it. I went to your Instagram. Bro, you are out there wilding right now, son, with the clothes. I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Bro.
Can we talk? Can we spit something about that? Can we talk about that a little bit?
El Confidencial.
Here we go with
When
that
I'm
shit
ready
again.
to speak about it, me will speak about it. But just know.
All right, can I ask you a question about Zach's vest?
Oh, it's done.
Oh, all right, there you go.
Yeah, it's done.
He just got to show up to get
I'm
it.
just waiting for him. He just.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
He said, picture that vest. Remember, he's like, what's up with my
He
vest?
said, yo, what's up with my vest? I said,
like,
bro,
just-
I will get to it when I get to it.
Nah, but you sent him a picture
Now
of the
it's
exact same
complete.
vest he gave you.
Yeah, with nothing on it.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, this is exactly how you said. I still got it.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was a bad stop.
Nah, go ahead, man. Jesse, put your shit out there, man.
J_Anthony27.
All right. And obviously follow us on first of all, we asking people to do this. Rate the podcast. Let us know what you think. We have an email, Go Create Podcast. Well, actually, Go Create Radio. We haven't changed the email address, right? So go create radio @gmail.com. Email us. Let us know what you think about the podcast. Follow us on Instagram, Go Create XYZ. And we really want to know what you think about what we're doing here. You know,
Why do you create challenge?
that's another thing I was getting to. We are halfway through the Why Do I Create challenge, which is something that we put our heart and soul in, and Instagram made our quality look bad.
Yeah, shout out to Instagram.
Shout out to Instagram for like fucking up our HD quality and shit. But the message is out there, right?
It's out there.
It's out there. So like I said, we all about creatives, man, and we use that term loosely. You know, if you started something and you created it and you went through your vision and you've managed to hit your goals, you're creative. You know what I mean? So we rocks with you. So we have like half a month left of those. And so just keep on lookout for that. Also, we have the hashtag, Why Do I Create challenge, where if you weren't part of the original 30 that we did, that doesn't mean that you're not involved in this.
Yeah.
Bella did one.
Yeah.
Show did.
And I found this French thing too, so you don't think I'm lying.
Oh my God, you right. Oh my God, I remember
Fuck you
that.
and fuck you.
Oh my God, how did you find that?
I just YouTubed your name and it was one of the things that came up.
My man's doing his research, bro. He's like, you're not gonna make me a liar out here.
I forgot.
I know what I seen and I know what I saw.
Yeah, y'all have
and how I seen things.
He like, I synced it.
Yeah.
Yo, that makes me feel so good that I have interviews that I've forgotten about.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm on like a
Word.
journey.
Nah, because you know what? What happens is y'all try to play me.
Hit the hands.
You try to play me.
Boo, boo.
You try to play me.
Understand.
All right, Leo.
Hey, it's right. You're my what's my
Philadelphia,
right
the building.
He was not gonna let it go. And it had to happen on air too.
Remember when we talked about, we asked about with the signs, and we was like, I say confident. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
right here.
facts.
He's not gonna let that shit go.
And like before you go, Bella, we just need you to do one thing. We just need you to crack open the sangria.
I'm gonna do it.
Definitely do that.
Yeah, 'cause you don't.
Oh, that shit never cracked.
No, they didn't.
Yo, Paulie was eyeing that sangria for the last 20 minutes.
That was like Cookie Gate all over again.
He tried to make it seem like it's part of the show. He's like, yo,
pull up.
Yeah, pull up.
Maman, bonjour, c'est Mamie. Je voulais savoir si tu es déjà parti. J'étais d'abord à la mer, je suis revenue, donc je veux te dire bon voyage, c'est tout. Mamie, quand tu arrives, tu m'appelles s'il te plaît pour me dire que tu es bien arrivé. Bye, et bon voyage.
Yeah.
Baby, I just quit my job. Still undocumented, so I'm running from the law. Everybody asking when I'm gonna be a star, so I tell them not to worry, but it's getting pretty hard. I feel like the sky. Daddy's still out there. Never say goodbye, bye. Daddy, life is hard, he say. No woman, no cry. That enough is promise. I just gotta let him see I try. Gotta bring your name to life before that.